Hi, my name is Ryan Kruger. I'm the director and writer from Fry Barry, and you're watching the Horror Squad podcast.
Hello, welcome back to the Horror Squad podcast. This is episode number 232. Tonight we're talking about X, which is currently available on demand or on Blu-ray or DVD, things like that. I'm one of your co-hosts, Todd. We have Joe and Steve. Boys, men, gentlemen, fellas, senors, compadres, hermanos, how are you doing?
Fantastic.
Doing good. What about you?
Good, man. Room's coming together. Got a lot of stuff up. I'm actually mostly done. It's just like to the point where I need to hang up like the odds and ends and pictures that don't really mix well in the layout anymore. But I did a con this weekend. That was cool. Dallas Fan Expo. Yeah.
I want to hear about it.
All right, Dallas Fan Expo or Fan Expo Dallas, whatever you want to call it. I went to meet the Lord of the Rings hobbits because all four of them were there, which was really cool. So I ended up meeting Elijah Wood, of course, Sean Astin, Dominic Monaghan, something like that, and Billy Boyd, the four hobbits from Lord of the Rings, and they're awesome, man. Elijah Wood was cool. I think Steve said, or both of you said, he's a huge horror fan, and obviously he loves horror now, or he, showing his horror flag with all his movies he's been doing. But went up to him like, hey, I'm not sure how you're gonna take this, but you're a bullshit artist. And he was like, what? His eyes lit up. He looked at me. He's like, I love that movie. I'm like, I'm like, awesome, man. I'm like, I met them and they're really cool. He's like, awesome. And we were talking about Maniac and Greasy Strangler. And you could tell he was excited to talk about a little horror because everyone there was like a cosplay as Lord of the Rings Hobbit, or like, older or in the different kind of nerdy spectrum, different from, there's, like cosplay and all that stuff side of the nerddom, and there's horror fan stuff. So you can tell he was excited. Sean Astin was super nice. Talked Stranger Things too. He was talking to my kids about how it sucked that Bob ended up dying in season 2, and that he was sorry that it happened and stuff like that. And he was telling us about the script and when he was reading it, how he felt, stuff like that. Then of course, Dominic and Billy were both really cool too. The con itself was pretty organized. They had a lot of volunteers, like with megaphones, like, hey, if you're coming over here and you need to get a ticket, come here. If you have a ticket, come this, and stuff like that. Great until Billy Boyd, right? So I hit Elijah Wood first. I was like 4th in line, so no big deal. Sean Astin, I was like 30th in line, no big deal. Dominic and Billy Boyd shot a podcast of theirs at like 10 a.m. when the con opened, so we were stuck waiting. Then they had their photo ops, solo, and then joint with all four hobbits back to back. So I ended up, long story short, they didn't end up getting to their lines until about 1 o'clock. So from 10 to 1, it was just like dead space. But then for Billy, like I was in that line for like 2.5 hours, which sucked because like I'm like, all right, they're going to be like the lesser known actors. It shouldn't be that bad. But they were letting all the VIPs cut in front of everybody, which is annoying because I get it. He's paid extra money. But like out of nowhere, just like a herd of them came, and like everyone in every other line was just like stopped. So it was frustrating. Met him, and then I met a video game actor from The Last of Us, which is one of my favorite horror games, Troy Baker. And he was great. That's probably the best conversation I've had with an actor or celebrity in recent memory, if not ever. And I know he's like lesser known, but like he was really insightful. And I'll talk about it more in the Let's XP Geek and Game podcast. It's video game related, but talking like a lot of plot points and the HBO show for Last of Us, and super nice guy. So it was cool. Good con.
Awesome. Would you have them sign, like just like a Lord of the Rings poster? Or?
Yeah, I got a poster. They didn't have. I was gonna double dip on Elijah, but I didn't have any Maniac remake stuff, and he didn't have any available at his table. It was strictly Lord of the Rings stuff. And Sean had everything: Goonies, Stranger Things, all that crap. But I got a big poster. Had them all sign it, so it was cool.
Awesome.
Good con.
I see that fresh ink.
Oh yeah, I got 2 new tattoos that are healing. Got nice. Jason from part 6, and then Ghostface. Nice. So I was super happy. Shout out to Valhalla Tattoos. Joe over there, he won an award for best horror in Dallas a couple years ago. So I picked him out, obviously, and he did a bang up job. So I'm super psyched about him.
That's awesome. You were able to bang out 2 characters at once. How long was that? Like 5 or 6 hours for the
No, it was about 3.
3? That's not
Three,
bad. Oh, wow.
no
he
breaks, no breaks.
Nice.
He
Awesome.
he just he's like, hey, I'm gonna go through. If you need a break, let me know. I'm like, nah, let's do it.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's look. You had quite a fun weekend. That's
No
awesome.
kidding.
Saturday tattoo, Sunday convention / Father's Day. So it's good stuff.
Badass. Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. What
Well,
about you, Joe?
Nothing horror related at all. I did go to the US Open. So for you golf fans, it's like sort of like, I guess you could compare it to sort of like the Super Bowl of golf, sort of. There's 4 majors in golf for professional golf, and that was one of them. It was in Brookline, Massachusetts, so not far at all from where I lived, but it was a lot of fun. Yeah. Won't get too much into it because, I'm sure most people could give 2 shits about golf. So
Talking VR mini golf, I'm in.
Right.
that's right.
So all my like college buddies and I are all turning 40 this year, and the first one turned 40 a couple weeks ago, but we finally got to meet up on the weekend. But before I went there, I had one of my college friends stay over here because he lives like far away, so he took a train over here, and then he slept for like he stayed a day, and then we went, and we had the most like reminiscent of like my college days day ever. Like we got up, had breakfast, we started a game at 8 a.m. and finished at 10:30 p.m. We just sat there and gamed all day. The only break we had, we went to like a Chinese buffet for dinner for like an hour and a half, and then came back.
What were you playing?
It's a game called It Takes Two. Fucking amazing game. But again, that's gaming, so I'll talk about it on the other podcast. But it was so like, oh my god, it's such a blast from the past, and it was awesome. And then seeing my friends on the next day was really cool as well. Got to reminisce on all the stuff. But we're all old men now. We're starting to talk about old men things, all about like house problems.
Hey, what's your mortgage looking like?
Yeah, like the market and like yeah.
What's your car payment?
Yeah, exactly, like water damage in the house and repairs we had to do and stuff like that. So it's still a really cool time. All right, you guys ready for some questions?
Let's do it.
You can ask us those questions on social media at the Horror Squad Podcast, or of course on our Discord, where a lot of great things are always happening. In fact, we are having our movie club meetup this Friday, so the day that this episode is being released. We are going to review Warlock 1 and 2. So we're doing a little bit of a double feature there, and I'm looking forward to it. I've seen them both in the last year, and there's definitely a lot to discuss. First one has a lot of horror legends in it. It's quite impressive that they got all these people that ended up being like really huge in horror, and some of the best CGI in film history. So can't wait to talk about it.
And if you need more incentive, I gave away X for free.
Oh,
So
you
if
did?
I'm doing all movies. Every movie I get a new one. If I have a code, I don't use codes. I'll put them on Discord. So if you guys join the Discord, there's more fun. There's a lot of fun going on, and free movies potentially.
Right, absolutely. So just ask us for the link and we will send it to you. It's absolutely free. It's just a bunch of horror fans hanging out and discussing all sorts of stuff. So the first series of questions are audio from our man Chuck. So Chuck, what is your first question?
What's up, Horror Squad? Chuck here with a few questions. First question, would you rather clog the toilet on a first date or the first day of a new job?
Ooh,
That's tough, man. Like,
that is tough. So I guess my question is, would they know you clogged the toilet at work on the first day? Or like,
Probably,
'cause
right?
I feel like it's easier to keep it a secret, but I guess if like you have to know one way
it's
or
like
the other,
if it's a single stall, and
yeah.
you're the last one.
I would much rather clog the toilet on a first date because, like, work, you're there like every day of your life almost, and you go like work with those people and stuff. So I feel like it'd be tough to live that one down. Whereas like if it's the first date, okay, like whatever, you can just move on and go on to another person or something.
What about you, Chuck?
Probably work, because you can always lie. And you can say like, hey, I went to take a. You can turn into like a good first date joke. Hey guys, I went to go take a pee, and there's a shit log floating in the toilet. And they all laugh. And they probably know it's you, but there's unless they have cameras on where the entrance to the bathroom is, then you're screwed. But yeah, I'll do work. I always remember the what was it, Jim Carrey movie, Dumb and Dumber, when he plugs the toilet.
Yeah, that's all. Definitely work for me as well. I just think like you can blame the infrastructure at work for some reason, like whereas on a date, I feel like I don't know, just more guilty in a way. It kind of happened to me. It wasn't the first date, it was like the fourth date, but it was the first time I met her family. And I don't know what the fuck they had in their food, some Danish stuff. And we were at our aunt's house, went to the bathroom, and the fucking toilet clogged, and I'm like freaking out. So I had to deal with that.
Well, how'd you deal with it? Did you
I actually
Stick your fingers in there?
so thankfully they had a plunger there, so they must have had
they heard you like
yeah. So they must have had problems, because no one, I don't have a plunger like permanently next to my toilet. So that ended up working, and thank God. I'm like, I'm gonna hold it. It doesn't matter from this point out. Yeah. So that was an embarrassing situation, but thankfully nothing too bad, But they did notice I was gone like fucking half an hour, so I guess they imagined something went wrong in there. Chuck, what's your second question?
Second question, would you rather walk in on your parents having sex or have them walk in on you having sex?
both happened to me.
Oh,
So I mean,
Yeah.
which was worse?
Probably when you're having sex, because when you're a kid, you kind of don't know what's going on unless you're like a teenager. And I didn't walk in on when they're teenagers mostly. Looking back, you see all the signals. Oh shit, they were banging. But when you're like 6 years old, you're like, oh, they're wrestling or something stupid.
Oof, that's a
I didn't
tough
tell
one.
this story before. I got caught multiple times, man.
Yeah, I think you did. Yeah.
All right.
I don't know if it was this show or not, but yeah,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's-
Without being too
Yeah,
vulgar, I've been caught.
Yeah, my parents have definitely walked in before. And it's like mortifying, but it's like then it's just never talked about. So it's kind of like, okay, it never had like sort of like it never lets them not speak of this again type scenario.
What
So
about jerking off? Is that more
yeah,
embarrassing?
I think that's more. I feel like that's more embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I definitely like have been walked in on, but it wasn't like full fledged like in the ad, but like they obviously like know, like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
Are you mortified, Todd, that like one day it's
Oh,
gonna happen
God.
to you?
I think it's more. I'm more scared for my wife because she's like one of those people
Yeah.
that will just walk in without very not like attuned to the what's going on and the signs and stuff.
Hmm.
So I'm afraid like a door will be closed and she'll just barge in and fucking yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
I
care.
never walked I never walked in on my parents. But I used to live in the basement and their bedroom was like right above. And I heard them
But you hear like
several
the
times. Yeah, you would hear the bed. Yeah. And it's just like,
What's
oh,
your dad's
Lord.
name?
Joe. Same
Oh,
thing.
Joseph.
I know. It's even worse, right? No, I never heard like I
You should
didn't
write
hear
what,
him
Mom?
moaning.
Stop
a few
calling my
times,
name.
but I definitely heard some moaning here and there, but it was mainly just the bed thumping.
Like the stepfather all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've thankfully never been caught and have never caught, so I escaped with that one. I mean, of course, like my parents knew, I come out of like I lived in the basement, and I come out of the basement with a girl, and all of a sudden we're both red, our hair is like all over the place. Like they know what's been going down there, but they never actually walked in or anything. So I think it would be worse for me to catch them than for them to catch me. I don't know. I feel that would be very traumatizing for a kid. It's I like to believe that I was brought in with a stork at some point and they just never had sex. That would be ideal for me to think about. So yeah, and
They were bumping ugly, Steve.
probably, but I'd like in my world, in my brain, it doesn't never happen. So all right, so Chuck, what is your final question?
Last question. Would you rather be a porn star with ridiculous success but no actual love life, or have real love but no sex life? Thanks, guys. Look forward to the episode.
Real love.
Real love, no sex life, or famous porn star.
Or
Yeah.
basically have sex all the time but never have real love.
So like, Good Luck Chuck, the movie.
I
Is that the movie?
guess.
Yeah, where he.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have.
It gets old after a while. I feel like it would get
Oh
old after
shit!
a
Don't say it.
while.
Don't let her hear that. Oh, being a porn star. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go with love.
Yeah, I mean, love for sure. That's basically marriage. So I think
I feel like if we were like 20 years younger, we'd probably answer differently. But now that we're all a little older,
I mean, it gets to the point where you're. Let's be honest, man. Stamina is just not where it was when
Yeah,
you're 19 years old.
very true.
I want to play video games sometimes.
All
Nothing wrong
right.
with that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So thank you, Chuck, for the questions. Our next question comes to us from Asa, Rating Blood 16. He asks, if each of you had to be in a porno, what would be the theme and title of the movie?
Ooh.
Todd's Treats. And I'd be an ice cream man and a bunch of housewives.
Mhm. Love it. Someone already came up with the perfect answer on Discord for me. I'm in my Facebook group's called Joe's House of Horror, so Joe's House of Horrors at a brothel.
Oh my. I feel there aren't enough horror themed, porn movies. At least there weren't when I used to sell them. So I think I'd make a horror themed porn movie and just, I don't know. I don't know what the name would be though. So you tell
Conjuring.
us. That's good. Yeah. Yeah. So actually send in your titles. Let me know what would be a good, unique horror porn movie. I'm curious, and we'll read them out maybe next week, because maybe next week will also be a porn related movie. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Next one is from Michelle, who goes by Michu. If you could be in a porn parody of any movie, which would it be?
I've never seen one like in full.
Yeah, I haven't watched many. How'd
Many.
you say the Bear Wench Project?
I've watched bits of that one. That was like one of the originals.
It was. Mhm.
Let's go. Let's stick with themes of favorite movies. I'll go Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead. Nice.
Yeah, there's also, I saw that Nightmare on Elm Street one that they had where Freddy had like dildo fingers instead of
Oh yeah.
knives.
Yeah.
I don't know what would
think
be a good one though.
I think it was called like A Wet Dream on Elm Street or something.
Right. Yeah. There were surprisingly not a ton of them when I used to sell them that were parodies of like known movies. I don't know if it was a rights issue or there were some for sure. My favorite, well, at least my favorite in title was Men in Black Men, which I thought was just hilarious. But
Men in Black Men, like
Yeah.
gay porn.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I know. I thought so too. But I don't know what movie I'd want to do a parody of right now. I'd have to think about it, but there aren't enough. I think there should be more out there, at least that I know of. And
Greasy Strangler.
yeah, right. That's practically a porno already.
What about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Yeah,
Just big booties.
classic.
Right. All right. So next one is from Shaylin, Lil Courtney 3. Squad, give us your best phone sex operator voice.
Shit. If Steve doesn't do French, I'm gonna be pissed off. You should do the actor that they do with True Lies. Take off her clothes.
Do it doucement. Do it very slowly. Yeah, that's great. I love that fucking scene.
Sex operator. I'll be like a bro. All right, man, we're gonna get your dick out. We're gonna jerk that thing off. Let's go. Let's get at it. Oh, you gonna come? All right, good job, man. Talk to you later.
Nice. What about you, Joe? What kind of phone sex operator would you be?
Oh man, I don't.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You could be like the blonde chick in this movie.
Hi. Hi, are you alone tonight? Then call us. There's hot live action all night long. So call us now at 1-900 Joe's House of Horror.
You're taking me back to like 12 p.m.
Yeah,
Channel 19, and you're trying to sneak
Yep.
the Girls Gone Wild fucking commercials.
Yep.
Oh my god, yeah. Good times. So we do have one more question, but it is X related, so I'm gonna save it for the discussion because it's definitely something I want to talk about. But someone did ask what streams we can watch this on. Nothing right now. It's only VOD. I usually rent my movies on my Xbox, and if you have Xbox Game Pass of all things, they made the purchase price lower than the rental price. I don't know how long that's valid for, but I got the movie for $5 instead of renting it for $6. So I thought it was a pretty good deal, especially that I think I'm going to want to watch it another time, because when Pearl comes out, I'm probably going to want to refresh on this one. So it's I'm happy I got to buy it. But no, streaming wise, I don't think it's streaming anywhere.
Yeah, I don't believe not free anyway. That's for sure.
No, exactly. So
Although
you know,
you get for your Disney Plus users, Doctor Strange tomorrow. Sam Raimi.
that's true. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for the questions. We could not do this segment without you. And now a word from our lemonade selling with 3 new flavors I read today.
Oh.
Deadly Grounds Coffee.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds Coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds Coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
All right, what watched?
Yeah, I don't have anything. So you guys
Come
got,
on.
You're too
I
busy.
got-
I don't
got nothing. I watched X, so that's been it. X and The
Yeah,
Fifth
you-
Element.
You had a busy
Yeah.
weekend. I only got one. Sam and I rewatched Get Out. Yeah, she was really wanting to watch it, so I was like, okay, I'll watch it with you. Hadn't watched it in I don't know, maybe a year. I mean, I've watched it a lot, but it's still great. Like the more and more I watch it, the more I catch, the more I enjoy it. Even knowing the twist, I don't think it diminishes the film like at all, really. So yeah, I still love it. Still think it's great. Just the hidden, and then you pick up like a little more of the hidden symbolism throughout too. I feel like the more you watch it and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I think it's far and away better than like Us after like rewatching it again. Like I still think Us is like a solid movie, but just Get Out, I think, is in a league of its own. And I'm excited for Nope. I'm really excited. Can't wait for Nope in just a few more weeks, and really excited to see what he does with that. So, and I'm excited that Daniel Kaluuya is back for that because he's a fantastic actor.
Yeah, he really is. So I watched a few this week. I'm going to talk about 2. We are right at the end game here of our 80s lists and episode coming up. So I'm really trying to plug away at all of the 80s movies that I wanted to rewatch before I make my decision. And the first one that I rewatched is from 1987, and it is John McTiernan's Predator, starring my favorite actor of all time, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I have seen this multiple times over the course of my life, but it had been at least 5 years since I watched it. So I wanted one last look before deciding if I'm adding it to my list or not. So in this one, Arnold Schwarzenegger plays a guy who brings in a team of people who are known for rescuing political prisoners and soldiers and stuff like that. They're brought in by that son of a bitch, Dylan, which is played by Apollo
I
Creed.
work alone.
So they go to the jungle to do this rescue mission, and then they find out that it wasn't a rescue mission. It was really to stop some big terrorist plot. But as they're going through their paces and everything, they notice that there are some bodies that are like completely skinned and destroyed, which seems a little excessive for the guerrilla group that they were chasing. But it turns out that is not humans that is causing that. It is a predator. That's a creature that could camouflage itself and is very fast and very dangerous. And, the crew has to deal with it. So the movie is fucking amazing. Action, gore, explosions, a little touch of horror, some sci-fi. But it's got legendary performers. I mean, it's got Schwarzenegger, it's got fucking Jesse Ventura and just a bunch of other great people. So I really fucking enjoy this movie. It's maybe like borderline horror because it's more action than anything, but I would consider it because the predator is a creature. So I think it fits into the horror genre. And there's some pretty gory, fucking crazy scenes in this movie. It also has a surprising amount of heart too. It's not just like straight up bro fighting, like one of the characters dies and the other character like really feels bad about it and wants to, he's sad that his friend died. And it's a deeper film that you would imagine, but definitely one to check out if you haven't. And a strong contender, might make my list. We'll see, I guess, in a few weeks.
That changes things. I didn't even consider it a horror movie at all, and I love that movie.
Yeah, I didn't either, but
You said you didn't have any others on, right, Joe?
I can talk briefly on one. It's not really horror, but it's fucking pretty disturbing. So for those of you sort of into cults and true crime and stuff like that, I haven't finished it yet, but I'm a couple episodes. It's only a 4-part documentary series. It's over on Netflix, just came out, and it's called Keep Sweet, Pray and Obey. And this one is about the fundamentalist church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which were like an extremist off-brand of the Latter-day Saints, and they were super into polygamy and whatnot. So at one point, like, this guy had like 65 wives and stuff like that. But what gets really disturbing is once the main dude passes away, his son takes over, and he starts having like 14 and 13-year-old girls marrying these guys, essentially forcing them into these marriages and stuff. And it's sickening, it's disturbing, and it's quite fascinating. So I haven't finished it yet, but so far, very interesting look at, religion. And to me, this was more of a cult, than a religion, but I would recommend it.
Netflix, you said?
Netflix, yep.
Actually, Predator was on Disney Plus. I just forgot to mention it.
So weird. So weird when you hear that.
Right.
Predator on Disney Plus.
I don't know if that's the case in the US though. It's because we don't have Hulu,
right.
So it might be a Hulu thing in the US. But in Canada, it's all put into one. And speaking of Disney Plus, my next film is also on Disney Plus. And this one isn't the 80s, but I needed to watch this one to prepare to watch one for the 80s. That's 1979's Alien. So I want to get to Aliens, but I felt I didn't want to watch Aliens without watching the first one first. So in this one, a crew of 7 are kind of on a commercial spaceship, and they're coming back to Earth, and they get like a distress signal that they need to check out. And of course, they bring in a baby xenomorph onto their ship, which creates a bunch of havoc and a lot of kills and a lot of cool things that are happening as well. Like a lot of surprises if you haven't watched it. I mean, I'm sure most of you have seen it. And that's basically it. I hadn't watched this in, God, it must have been 15 years since I've seen any of the Alien films other than like Covenant, the latest one there. So when I was thinking of this movie, I think I was thinking more of Aliens than Alien, because I guess I was expecting a little bit more. Now, don't get me wrong, this movie's fucking awesome. A lot of great scares, very claustrophobic. Some of the like more memorable scenes are very, very good. Like when the face hugger comes into play, and when you first see the xenomorph and all that kind of stuff. But compared to its sequel, it's definitely a toned down film. There's a little bit of like slow parts and stuff like that. And some of the effects, although great for 1979, are a little aged at this point, especially when you're looking at when they're like visiting the alien planet and stuff like that. But still, absolute classic, great film. Happy I finally got to rewatch it, and very, very much looking forward to watching Aliens probably this weekend, because that is another one that's like, borderline horror, but I think counts as a horror film because the xenomorphs are fucking terrifying, even though it is a lot of action, kind of like Predator. But to me, it's horror enough to be a contender for my list. So
I think we need to put Aliens and Predator on Discord for a vote to include them, because those are two. Aliens is amazing, so is Predator.
Mm-hmm.
But I always consider those more sci-fi action personally.
Yeah, they're definitely borderline. I would love to. If we're including them, they might make mine. So yeah, I mean,
definitely will. I think for me,
that
made things more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of that. Like, do you count? I mean, I know Joe doesn't, but Ghostbusters, is that considered horror? Do you count Gremlins as horror? There's a lot of like.
Fuck. 80s is stacked, man.
Yeah, 80s is stacked, and I'm trying to really push. I'm watching almost exclusively 80s right now, other than the ones we're reviewing, just because I want to make sure I have as solid of a list, and it's becoming tougher and tougher as I'm watching them. So.
Yeah, I might go see The Thing tomorrow in theaters.
Yeah, are you watching in
nice.
Fathom? Did you hear the whole story behind it?
Yeah, but that's why I'm kind of on the fence, because they had the wrong aspect ratio. So you miss, what is it? A third of the, not a third.
A
Seems
third.
like a lot.
Oh,
They said a
really?
third. Yeah.
Oh God,
Sucks.
that's a lot.
fuck?
So like, I'd rather just watch 4K on my TV than
Right.
be screwed in a movie. You know, I saw a Fathom event for Saving Private Ryan, and it skipped like fucking 19 times in the theater, and like, would
Yikes.
constantly freeze, and
Mm.
that turned into a shitty experience. So I don't know if I'll go see it. Maybe I'll just watch it at home.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know also, for those of anyone who's going to see Nope in theaters, it was shot with real IMAX cameras. So if you can go see it in IMAX, it'd probably be pretty fucking amazing. So
See what we got coming out. We got Thor coming out. We got Nope.
Black
Jurassic
Phone
World,
is
Black
like
Phone.
any day now. I think maybe this week or next week.
Is that going to streaming? Or is that theater only?
Theater only for the initial run anyway.
Okay.
did you say Thor?
Yeah, isn't Thor out?
Yeah, not horror, but
Oh, I
Well,
think
no,
I know
I'm saying,
horror. Yeah. All
yeah.
right. All right.
Good-
I
Cool
got
movie.
confused.
Cool
I
movie.
already have my ticket and everything.
Yeah, Black
Yeah.
Phone looks sick though.
It does.
Yeah,
At last I checked, it was 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
word.
That'll change
Wow.
almost definitely, because there's
Yeah.
always some fucking asshole that hates horror. But
Right.
yeah,
So
I'm
we got
looking
Black
forward
Phone
to
and Nope is the most recent, or
yeah, the next two
closest
big
horror ones.
horror. And there's
Oh,
also
yeah.
actually one that just came out on VOD today, the day we're recording, which is fuck that. I think it's Steven Soderbergh is doing it, or
oh, that'd be cool.
Cronenberg's new
Cronenberg,
movie
sorry,
is out too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I forget what it's called on the top of my head. Some body morphing thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's another one that I'm gonna check out, and that's on VOD. So Crimes of
That's
the
cool.
Future.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to checking that out as well.
Minority Report too.
But yeah, nice.
Nice.
And then Predator. Honestly, speaking of Predator, the new Predator movie looks pretty good actually, based
Yeah.
on the trailer.
Right?
Anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It does look
Mhm.
fucking good.
and it'll be
That
free
one
on
drops
on
in,
one of the
right?
services too. So
Hulu.
Hulu, there you go.
Yeah, I
So,
think is that one September? Is that when that one is, or is that
September,
earlier?
October.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Could be August. Yeah, so it's soon enough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
that franchise needs to return to a predator hunting a group.
They need-
Definitely.
let's get Schwarzenegger back. Like,
Oh my god, imagine.
yeah, I mean, why not, right?
Yeah. Looks like we might be getting an Elm Street movie. We'll see.
Yeah, right.
With-
If you
with
guys
Robert?
heard that on that, but yeah, that's the rumor. Blum,
thought-
Jason Blum.
Come on.
Jason Blum said that he has England on board to do a Nightmare on Elm Street movie if Blumhouse can get the rights.
Money talks, dude.
It sure does. I think.
It'll,
I mean,
it'll fucking destroy. It'll make money for sure.
oh my god, yeah. And I mean, Blumhouse is probably the right place to put it in, just because it's such a big property. Like, grant say what you will about Blumhouse, but they got the money to do it right anyway. So
Blumhouse like put a big insurgence back into horror, so we owe a lot to that company.
yeah.
I know
No,
it's like
I
it's,
agree.
it's like the mainstream, not cool anymore kind of thing, but they did a lot.
Mhm. They did. Mhm.
All right, trivia.
Trivia. So current standings in quarter number 2 are myself in the lead of the pack with 11, Joe 8, Steve 7. This is game number 14. Who would like to begin today? Oh, you know what? I'll do it because I have a Robert Englund related question. We just talked about him. All right. This alligator themed movie starred a young Robert Englund.
A young Robert.
Well, I
Alligator?
could incorrect. I should say co-starred, but he was in it. So quite
Well,
a bit.
okay. It's not a croc, right? It's not Lake
No.
Placid.
it's not.
Okay, because he isn't Lake Placid.
Is he? No.
Yeah.
A young Robert
Yeah,
Englund.
okay. I don't know how young.
I'm talking like
Young. okay.
19.
No.
Like yeah, he's
So,
fucking
yeah, alligator's my guess. I know you said no, but
okay. Alligators now. Incorrect. This is doesn't get a lot of love.
Yeah, I
I'll
don't
give
know.
it. I'll throw another hint. Directed by Toby Hooper.
Oh,
croc.
probably haven't
Incorrect.
even seen it, honestly. I don't
Yeah.
know.
The movie is 1976. Eaten Alive.
Oh, fuck. You know what's
Ah.
funny? I wanted to watch it when I watched Texas Chainsaw a few months back, and I watched the wrong one. There's another Eaten Alive.
Oh,
It's
you
like
watched the
a
one in
cannibal
the-
movie
Yeah, the one.
that was
Yeah.
fucking horrifying. Like
In a good
super.
way?
It's a lot. There's a lot in.
It's on Tubi, right? Because I've had it on my list for a while.
Yeah, it's like it's intense. Like there's some
Okay.
scenes in there that made me pretty uncomfortable, and I watch a lot of
Really?
horror, so
Wow.
yeah, a lot of
Worse than
rape.
Worse than Cannibal Holocaust.
It's like on that same level, you know, a lot
Okay.
of animal deaths and rape, and
Oh, I'm not into that shit, dude.
yeah, it was odd.
Eh.
But I was committed by the time I realized I watched the wrong one. It's around the same year. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, so
Where's Robert Englund in this?
right,
Is he the cannibal?
yeah, right. All right, I'll go next.
All right.
So my first question comes to us from Weezerface. What is the name of the golden retriever in Halloween 4?
Just watched it recently too.
Dog.
I don't remember though.
Just dog.
No, it's not just dog.
Champ.
Penny.
All right, I'll give you guys a hint.
Okay.
It's named after a dessert.
Oh, brownie.
Wrong.
Cookie.
Wrong.
Ice cream.
And the kind of, but
Hey,
the answer
Angela.
was Sunday.
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 What's the name of the dog in the first movie? I always forget that one.
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't remember
It's
any.
a German
no.
Shepherd. It's Annie's dog, I
Mhm.
think, or the kid's dog.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
All right.
Forget that too.
Lester. I think it's Lester in the
Lester?
first movie. Sounds right.
Lester, maybe. All right. What do I got tonight for you guys? All right. In X,
Oh,
the movie we're reviewing tonight, what is the name of the porno they are filming?
The Farmer's Daughter.
Farmer's Daughter. Fuck, yeah.
That's correct.
Daughter, yeah.
Boy.
Totter got it.
What was the profession of Big Daddy in Land of the Dead?
Mechanic?
I'll accept it. I think it's gas station guy, but
Oh,
same
yeah.
thing. Whatever. Either or.
Mhm.
All right. This is the 4 clue.
Ooh, here we go.
Snow, hairdresser,
Okay. So,
heart cookie. Okay, last one. will
Wait a
really-
minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Edward Scissorhands.
Jack.
Yes, that's right.
Very good. What was the last
Which-
one?
It was going to be
Scissor-
sculptures.
Oh,
Edward Scissorhands sold at auction today for $85,000.
Yeah. Whew. Crazy.
that'd be sweet.
And- And Gizmo also sold today for $110,000 from part 2.
Who's auctioning? Where do they get this stuff from?
Private collectors?
Yeah. Private
Mhm.
collectors, studios and stuff like that. It's like the premier place now for stuff. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
That Evil Dead puppet sold for like 25 grand.
Oh man.
Crazy.
See, buy a
Yeah,
new
I-
car or get the Evil Dead puppet.
Yeah, right. I showed Steve. I was like, there was a lament configuration from one of the Hellraiser movies went for 8 grand, which I feel like really isn't that bad for a piece of horror history like
The
that.
screen use prop.
Screen used, yeah.
Oh,
hmm
hate that.
And then it was from a bad one. It was from like Revelations or something like that, one of the shitty sequels. But then a piece that I thought was pretty cool, Victor Crowley's mask, overalls, and hatchet all in one piece sold for 6 grand, which I feel like is pretty good.
That's doable if you got the extra cash,
Yeah.
like tax day, tax
Right.
money.
Not bad.
I forgot which company I was following. Maybe it was that one, but I had an alert on for Dawn of the Dead props. Might have been that one.
Yeah, it was
Awesome.
probably that one.
Yeah. Every now and then they have some stuff, but it's hard to
Right.
justify it, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Well, it's like crazy, crazy. Like Wilson went for like 150K today from Castaway.
Yeah.
All right. Next question for me. All right. Many people left the theater due to motion sickness and
Cloverfield.
dizziness.
Cloverfield.
Correct. Because of
Yeah.
what 2008 horror film?
You know what? My wife, or my girlfriend at the time, now wife, we had to leave that theater because of her.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah. It's a good movie.
It is.
All right. Last but not least, what is the subtitle for The Evil Dead Part 2?
Dead by Daylight. Dead by Dawn.
Dead by Dawn. Dead by Daylight is a video game.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, gents. 60-second game.
I'm getting all right at these now.
Yeah, I know. You've been on a roll lately.
I'm
I'll
not.
let Joe go first. I'll let Joe go first.
All right.
It's just
Get warmed up.
my timer. Here. All right, Joe. You ready?
Sure.
And go.
All right. Is it a horror movie?
Yes. Start over.
Start the clock over. This guy. It's a horror movie. Incorrect. This is a Disney animated feature.
Right. All right, we're starting over, Joe.
Jeez.
God
Yeah.
damn. All right, go.
All right. Is it zombies?
No,
Ghost movie?
no,
Found footage?
no,
Is it vampires?
nope,
Is it all right? Let me 90s,
nope,
80s,
nope,
70s,
nope,
2000s,
nope.
2010 to
Yep. 2010s.
20. Okay. Ooh, all right. All right, very good, very good. Is it other famous actors in it?
Yeah, they're pretty famous. Mostly known from
Pretty
TV. I'll even give you that.
Does it have a famous director?
A little bit.
Ooh.
Not like
It's
super
not James
famous.
not James Wan. Not James Wan.
No.
Okay. Shit. All right. Is it Ghosts?
No.
Shit. I'm already all right. Slasher.
A little bit, but not.
Aliens.
No. And
Creature
final guess.
feature.
They're like creature like, but they're not. It's not like a creature feature. All right, Todd.
Creature like, but not a creature feature. Is it set around movies?
No.
I guess it was House of Wax.
So the answer is
Damn.
2015's Krampus.
Krampus.
Oh.
You're just missing demons and
Oh.
Michael
All right.
Michael Dougherty. I don't know. Would you consider him a famous director? Not really.
Yeah.
I guess for horror, yeah.
For horror, that's why. Yeah, but not.
Right.
mainstream. All right.
All right.
Let me reset the clock. And
60s.
No.
70s.
No.
80s.
Yep.
In space.
No.
Monster movie.
No.
Creature like a alien.
no, it's not aliens, but it could be alien in nature, kind of.
And it's in the 70s.
No, it's not.
Oh,
70s.
80s.
80s.
I said 80s? Okay,
Yeah.
80s. Is it Predator?
No.
Is it Aliens?
No, it's not. None
Those
of
are
the
aliens. Those are in space.
None of the ones
Okay.
I watched.
Is it set in the woods?
No.
Is it set okay. 80s kind of could be aliens. Why did I have to jinx myself in the beginning? I say I was getting good at this. 80s kind of aliens. 80s kind of aliens. Fuck, dude, I'm drawing a giant blank.
Yeah, forget the aliens. It's not like.
Forget the aliens. Okay.
Yeah.
80s.
Yeah.
Is it Bad Taste? Wait,
Nope.
those are aliens.
Yeah, they're straight up aliens.
I'm like
All right,
well,
Drawing a
I'm
blank.
lost. I'm drawing a super blank.
Final guess.
I didn't give any help to Joe either.
No.
Is
I don't-
it?
I don't think you're
I
on
don't
track
fucking
at all.
know, dude.
Yeah.
No.
All right, Joe, you want to ask one question? Who knows?
He
You
gets
know?
one question and a guess.
Yeah. So
That's terrible. Dang it.
Is it a John Carpenter movie?
American Wolf in London.
No.
Just looking around. Friday night.
you want to take a wild guess? I'll even give you
Dead
the
Alive.
year.
Let's see
Ooh,
here.
all right.
85.
Oh, I gotta get. Oh wait, no, he gets a guess. I want to follow up guess.
85. Silver Bullet.
Wrong.
Friday night.
The answer was The Stuff.
What could I
yeah.
guess to get that one? Because if you say creature, you're thinking monster or like four-legged thing.
Yeah, it's not really a
That's-
creature.
Yeah,
It's,
it's alien goop, kind of, right?
yeah,
Asteroid goop or some shit.
right.
All right. Is it to me?
It would have been a
Yep.
tough question to get, but
Yeah.
I think it's okay. That movie.
I liked it. Honestly, it was better than I expected when I watched it.
I like the salesman guy. He's kind of like
Yeah.
a professional creep.
All right,
What we
Joe.
got?
To me?
Yep.
All right. In The Strangers, the main characters are coming home from
A
what? event?
wedding.
That is correct.
Yeah, she fucking dumps his ass, dude.
She does.
All right. I go out to a 14 points. Joe second with 10. Steve third with 8. And we get one more, right? Before April, May, June. One more week or 2 more?
One more week after this. Yeah.
All right, cool. I need some questions. I haven't gotten any. Kayla, the last one you sent me was
Same.
extremely hard.
Please send. Please
All right.
send questions.
I have a
Please send
ton.
questions.
Just I have like a backlog because I only ask one a week now because I use the other 2 for other stuff.
Yeah.
I actually have
you
a
go.
new type of question next week. So
Use your face. Send me some too. Stop sending Joe.
Send more cops.
Send more paramedics.
Is that what paramedics? Yeah.
He does both cops and paramedics. All right, X,
Yeah.
directed by Ty West, dying to show you a good time. In 1979, a group of young filmmakers set out to make an adult film in rural Texas, but when their reclusive elderly hosts catch them in the act, the cast find themselves fighting for their lives. All right, this one starts off with Mia Goth. She's a stripper, adult entertainer, and she's got like part of her face she has a bunch of freckles in one part of her face. So like her sleazy / kind of cool manager / boyfriend is like, you're special. You got the X factor. We're gonna take you on the road and make you famous. It turns out the gentleman that's like the club owner or whatever he is, he decides to shoot a porno. So he gets a couple of strippers. He gets this veteran guy. He gets this young up and coming filmmaker and his girlfriend that helps him with film. And they get in a van. They drive to rural Texas where they rented like a old kind of cabin / Airbnb kind of thingy. But when they get there, it's kind of creepy, man. There's like extremely old man and lady. You can tell there's their faculties are kind of going mentally. So there's a little bit something off about that. Immediately when the guy goes to the door, the old man puts a shotgun in his face and is like, "Get off my property. Are you from the county?" And then turns out that like he's just a crotchety old man and he doesn't want any weird shit going on, and he has no idea that they're shooting a porno. So long story short, they go to the house, they get set up, and they start fucking making porn. They start shooting it. We have another young character played by Jenny Ortega, who is like kind of the goody two shoes, and she's kind of interested in the porn. So she wants to get in on it too. Meanwhile, the old lady in the house, she starts doing creepy stuff. She starts creeping on Mia Goth. She starts looking through windows, and then we'll leave it at that. And things start unraveling once the old lady and the old man kind of get upset about things. Yeah, leave it there. What do you guys think?
all right, I'll go first.
Yeah.
So I saw this in theaters in its original release, so I've been kind of holding on to these thoughts for a while now. But I did rewatch it, like I said at the beginning of the show, and you know what? So I really liked it the first time, and I gotta say, watching it a second time, I liked it slightly better than the first time. Now that I kind of knew where it was going, and I knew some of the plot points and everything, I just got to look at it more from a cinematography and like shot composer and editing, all that kind of stuff. I really appreciated what this movie did. It's a very like well shot film, very reminiscent of what you would see in the 70s and early 80s. The editing style was brilliant as well. I love the transitions in particular, how Ty West really like tied scenes together and how certain things were happening, and sometimes kind of splitting the screen, which is something they do in the 70s and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just very, very good. And how the camera would change when it was the porno that was being filmed versus what's happening like on the actual screen. The use of colors, I think, were brilliant as well, particularly during the first like big kill that we see when the old lady kills Jenna Ortega's boyfriend, who's like the cameraman. I thought that was really cool how they did that entire scene. And the use of the score versus just silence was really interesting. You don't always need to have music playing over something happening on screen, and the silence was almost like a character in its own, really amplifying certain scenes. And this movie was great, and I can't wait to talk about certain specifics of it. But overall, it's right now tied for first from 2022. I'm kind of between this and The Sadness. I'm not really sure which of the two I liked more than another because they're very different from each other. I think technically this one is better, but entertainment wise, I think I like The Sadness better. So I'm kind of tossed in the middle, but definitely something that might stay on my top 10 right up to the end of the year.
Yeah, so I also saw it in theaters as well. Revisited it, yesterday before we recorded. I mean, I really like Ty West as a director. Loved The House of the Devil. Loved his segments in VHS, and loved The Sacrament as well. Great found footage movie. So I was really excited for his return to horror. Obviously, this is almost 10 years since his last horror movie. So, and then A24. Obviously, I worship at the throne that is A24, Studio A24. So when I saw that they were doing like a grindhouse style movie, I got super excited, and I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. I really did. It's such a great throwback to that 70s/80s feel of horror that you just don't get as much nowadays. Obviously, this is like Ty West's love letter to that genre. I mean, there's a lot of obviously Texas Chainsaw Massacre influence here. I mean, a lot. And I'm okay with that. I really am. Like, I did not feel like it was ripping it off whatsoever. I definitely feel like it was paying homage to it more than anything. Fantastic acting all throughout. There really isn't like any bad performances here. I loved all of the characters in this movie. I do think, as good as Mia Goth is, I think actually Brittany Snow steals the show here. I really loved her character in this. You know, she just, I don't know, there's just something about her character that every time she was on screen, I was just like super into
But the
her,
blonde.
like into it. Yeah, the blonde. Yeah. I just felt like, to me, she stole the show in this one. I just loved her. And then, I mean, just the batshit craziness that this movie takes, it just gets so fucking wild. Nothing you really see coming. And honestly, like, the weird thing is, maybe in the hands of a lesser director, this movie could have came off as terrible with some of this subject material, because there's some really goofy shit in here. But I don't know, it just worked for the most part, rather than it being kind of like a cringy, roll your eyes, like laugh at it type thing. It was kind of like, I don't know. We'll get into it, but I'll save everything else for now. But overall, I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah, I mirror all that you guys said. I really didn't know what to expect. I was blown away of how creepy it was, and how wasn't afraid to take risks, especially with a lot of the sex stuff, especially with the elderly things. And you feel for Pearl, right? You feel for her, and then she's like, "You're also crazy." So, one of my favorite scenes, though, is when Mia Goth is in the lake, and you see the gator, and it's such a well shot scene, man, where she's slowly swimming away, and this giant fucking alligator slowly swimming up on her. She lingers at the edge of the dock, and you're like, holy shit, she's gonna get killed. And then that plants it in your mind, like, we're gonna see this gator later for sure. And luckily we do. I liked all the characters, man. I liked the manager, because they could have easily played him as like a ultra sleazeball, but he wasn't. He was fucking cool dude. I wish I had his confidence to walk around fucking farm in just fucking tidy whities, but let alone the African American gentleman that you see his fucking dong in a shadow just swaying back and forth.
Who is a famous musician? Kid Cudi is
Oh,
his
is he?
name.
The
Yeah.
white guy or the
Mhm.
African American? Which guy?
The black guy. Yeah.
Oh, I did not know
Mhm.
that. Acting was on point. We'll go with the good still. Everything's great. Cinematography is awesome. Music's great. I really like too the scene where they're doing Lemonade, and it's from different perspectives with the group. That was really cool. I like the blinking cameras transitions, jumping from each thing before changing scenes. And I think they captured the 70s, especially Texas, because a lot of people that like it's like Hollywood, when they tint something yellow, they do that for Mexico.
Mexico, yeah.
Right.
Every
So
time.
a lot of people know Texas from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it's a certain dusty, sweaty feel, and they capture that. And it's fucking hot as fucking Texas right now, man. So like they got that down. But yeah, I thought it was awesome, especially all the TCM stuff. Like the house in the inside looks identical at points, and it's like it was really cool. Just gonna shift to the negatives. I thought some of the pacing needed to improve, like especially towards the end there. Like let's get it going. And some of the old lady stuff was a little bit far fetched. I'm like, okay, but it's all nitpicky stuff, really. I thought it was great. And I didn't understand how Jenny Ortega was that stupid not to think that that would affect her relationship with your boyfriend, deciding to have sex on film. Why she did it? It's not like they were fighting. I don't understand why she did it.
I don't think she cared. Really,
She just wanted to.
she was just horny.
Yeah.
Really, like she saw that dong and she's like, I want to get to that. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was like the time, right? Like it was like the free spirit era and kind of the hippie time. So I
That's
think it
cool
was
and
just
all, but
kind of,
like feel bad
yeah.
for her boyfriend, and he's like
Sure, yeah.
the worst mental state. He's crying, and then he gets
Mhm.
murdered. So like he
Which
had
is-
no fun.
Which is easily the most brutal and probably best kill in the movie, I would
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
I think so.
for
Yeah.
Her
sure.
slow motion stabbing. 'Cause she's
Yeah.
old. Yeah, that was.
It's great, yeah. Plus the soundtrack there, you playing Don't Fear the Reaper, right?
Uh-huh.
Like right up to that's just the soundtrack in this movie is great too. Like the use of music there. I mean, you put Landslide in your movie and Don't Fear the Reaper, I'm already on
They
board.
should have
with
thrown
it.
Landslide in their porn. They were good performers. I'm like, throw this in.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was, man, great performances throughout. Man, Pearl is like we haven't even mentioned that Pearl is played by Mia Goth, like in just old person makeup. So like that, it's
That's new
so
to me.
weird.
I didn't know that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
no.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's the same actress. They just put her in old person makeup, and yeah, so it's like it's a great double performance here by that actress. Yeah, like Todd didn't even notice, and yeah, honestly, I wouldn't have noticed either. Honestly, unless I looked it up. But yeah, I mean, just man, like you do feel for her though, right? Like she's not like a completely hated antagonist whatsoever because she just wants to be young, which you can relate to that, right? Like obviously we're not like that old yet or anything, but you know, thinking, you know, when she's basically at mortality's door here and she sees all these young people just, you know, in their absolute prime. And I mean, it just makes her, it's depressing really. And so you can see like where she's coming from in a way. Obviously you can understand maybe the killing she's doing and whatnot. And here's, I guess my nitpick is, and we're obviously going to get this, I assume, when we get to this Pearl prequel, but like what is going on like with these people? Like who are they? We see these missing people on milk cartons at points, and then we get, when Jenna Ortega is locked in the basement, we find this dude down there who's fucking castrated, and I think he's dead. So I wish he's got he seemed dead.
Yeah, he's dead because
he alive?
the first scene is the cops finding him. So
oh, okay,
yeah,
okay,
dead.
gotcha. Okay,
oh, in the basement, you're right.
Yeah, so I guess I just want to know a little more of their backstory. Like, why are they killing these people? Are they just sort of like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre family that are just psychotic, or
I'm thinking,
I mean, so we'll find out.
He's a double vet. Not that makes you a killer, but you know, probably has some PTSD things. She mentioned World War I and II, and then maybe it's like she's got some mental thing where she's obsessed with youth, and they just allowed them to rent out that place and just kill people. But if it's just about sex, I would be like, just get a fucking cucumber or vibrator or something.
Right. But
kill people, jeez.
The fact that it's the same actress has to mean something, right? They're not just putting Mia Goth into old people makeup for the hell of it. I think there's some kind of relation there because they also tease the fact that she's the daughter of that
pastor.
Yeah, that pastor that we see not that much like on television. And that's a whole other thing that they didn't really explore as to why they're showing that. And so I feel there's definitely a lot that we're missing, and that was also kind of my issue. Now I get that there are other films in this series that are coming out, but there are too many questions, you know, to make this movie like fully complete, and that was kind of my biggest issue, I think, with this film.
Yeah, I agree. Like you shouldn't make a movie to have to answer the questions in a different movie. You know, you should be able to answer a lot of them here, and I do feel like it is an incomplete film. Like I feel like it is going to be, you know, the two movies are you kind of got to watch them both to understand everything.
Like Army of the Dead, but Army of the Dead was a worse offender. They had a lot of shit that you're like, what? Robot zombies?
Right.
At least this one put some nuggets in there where we're like, oh, I can't wait to see this and this.
Yeah. No, agreed. Like I don't think it's a complete like, oh, what the fuck is going on? I mean, you get the gist of it, but it does leave a lot of unanswered questions that I would like to know the answers to.
Absolutely. So what did you guys think of the kills? We talked about the kill of the boyfriend, which I think is also the best one. Not only was it brutal with like the stabbing in the neck like repeatedly, but the fact that his blood is covering the lights of the truck, and then she's shown kind of in red, and then she does that creepy almost like Joker dance
Yeah,
You
she
know,
does
when-
her ballet. She's
But
like,
her ballet, like in
yeah.
front of when she's covered in blood, plus the red tint of the. I thought that was just absolutely
killing. Yeah, the killing has to make her feel young. That must be her thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you
Yeah,
got the gator kill, which I thought was quick but brutal.
It was quick. I kind of wanted more out of it because I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, the skater's doing something.
Right.
It got her. It was still cool, but
Because they set it up so much, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
The-
Wayne's death is disappointing too because it's so quick. It's just the pitchfork through the eye. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of like a throwaway kill.
Yeah, the
And
dude with the
then-
shotgun is throwaway too. You don't even see it.
Right.
Right.
And then Jen Ortega gets her fucking face blown off. which
Yeah,
was
right.
cool
Kill.
when
That,
they
that's
show
that
it,
was
yeah.
a good one.
Yeah.
It's kind of unexpected. So
Ty West
Mhm.
always does that, man. Which one is the? Is it House of the Devil where he's like, "Hey, you the babysitter?" She's like, "Yeah," and he shoots from the face. Like,
Yeah, I think so.
yeah, I think so. He
Been a
he
while.
tends to do kills that are like out of nowhere,
Mhm.
like Jenny Ortega running out the door and getting blasted. That was excellent.
Yeah, it was. That was great.
I thought she was the
Yeah,
final girl in this.
I was kind of expecting that too. But she kind of honestly takes a back seat in this movie, like for how big she has been, like in all these other movies. Yeah, I mean, which is what I guess her character was meant to be in this one, but it was yeah, it was just it wasn't what I was expecting from her. That's all.
but she wasn't like really all that well known at that time, right? When they filmed this, a lot
Yeah, I
of her
guess
movies
so.
came out in the last 4 or 5 months, and this movie was filmed
It's
before
true.
that. So she was really just known from You, I would assume at that point, right?
Okay. No.
So that could be
Yeah,
a
yeah.
big reason why.
hmm
But now she's
True.
in everything. So now her fucking stock has gone up crazy. Now and she'll be
Oh, yeah.
Wednesday, so she's gonna be hard to get from now on.
That's a good casting.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks good.
Yeah.
The picture they showed
Mhm.
looks pretty damn good. I also have to point out just how fucking cool some of the small details in this film are, like the fact that the van is called the plowing service was fucking
Yeah.
hilarious, and the strip club that they start at the Bayou Burlesque, super nice like art and stuff like that, and just those little touches that I really kind of enjoyed that he put in throughout. So that was really cool. What's with the old lady? So okay, so Pearl, I have to keep asking this. So they're playing the same actress with the two characters. So why she's trying to fuck herself? Like that's Pearl's constantly trying to kind of sleep with Mia Goth's character.
Right.
So I'm
Maybe,
really,
maybe it's
She
repressed
just
homosexuality.
I thought it was
she
more
just-
like it reminds her of her
Of herself.
herself.
her like
maybe?
like herself as a horny youth, or I don't know.
She likes women and
She's
men.
took a, she just took a liking to her for whatever reason. Yeah, because she didn't like Brittany Snow's character.
I
there 'cause she's
prefer-
like,
prefer-
you know I don't
prefer
like
blondes.
blondes. Yeah.
Yeah.
She fucking fed her the
Um,
gators.
Yeah, I don't know. That scene when they're fucking the older people, and then she's under the bed hiding. I'm like, holy shit! It was so gross, man.
That was
But,
that was really really gross.
She wants, man, the old dude's butt thrusting in and out, the moaning, the fucking, I don't know, man. That guy's a trooper.
Yeah, no, for sure. I told you we don't do that anymore.
My
Todd,
heart.
Todd, did you stick around for the end credits and see the Pearl trailer?
No, damn it.
If
I got the
you,
Blu-ray
if
there,
you,
I'll throw it back in.
so if you wait to the very end of the credits, that they play the trailer for Pearl.
Is that shot already?
He
Yeah,
shot
shot same
it.
time.
It was
Sweet.
shot. Yeah. He asked, so they shot this film in New Zealand. And when they wrapped filming, he went to Mia Goth and he said, hey, he's like, I have a sequel already written, or a prequel called Pearl. Will you stick around and film it with me? And she said, sure. And they filmed it.
Dope.
Yeah. Back to back. Yep. And
So
it's supposed to be
she's-
coming out the end of this year.
I wonder if that's gonna be confusing though for people because she's playing a young.
I see that was kind of my issue with it too. It's like, so you're gonna use her in the same character, but it's gonna look like the exact same character as Maxine, who so I do feel like that is kind of weird, but it's obviously gonna take place in like the 40s or 50s, I assume,
I thought
or
it said
something
the
like
20s.
that. So, or the 20s, is that what it
Yeah.
is? Yeah.
I mean, which you
So
can which you can fake. It's set at a
Yeah.
fucking farmhouse.
So I guess just knowing like it's set like 60 years prior, like you'll just kind of go
Yeah,
with
but
it.
we just saw that movie. I mean, we just saw her. You know what I mean? But hey, I'm
Yeah.
excited. And there's a
Yeah,
sequel too. Is that what I heard?
It's a just the prequel.
Is there a prequel plus a
Yeah.
sequel on the docs coming out?
I don't-
I thought I read somewhere that it's also a sequel coming
Really?
out. So yeah.
With Maxine or something gonna come.
It must,
but
it
Pearl's
must be, right?
dead.
Everyone
Like,
else is dead. So everyone's
Pearl
dead.
got her fucking head and she got her fucking head fucking ran over, which was another great
popped.
little gore scene. Yeah.
Right.
When she's crawling out, you're like, oh, she's getting her head popped.
Yeah.
I like young people.
I personally, I hope we don't get a sequel because I just don't know what do you do? Like,
Yeah, you can't
Maxine's
go
not
anywhere.
an evil. She's not like a bad character or anything like that. So what would you
Just-
do?
Doesn't want to accept the life that she doesn't deserve, you know?
Maybe the whole thing's a reincarnation like plot where
Oh God, I hope
we'll,
not.
we'll learn in Pearl that it was really kind of the same person, and then it
Yeah.
continues and shows how she gets to the point where she gets old and gets crazy again.
I hope not.
Yeah, me too, but
No, I think just the prequel is enough.
we did get one question. So the question was from Aaron, Horror with Sir Sturdy, which is a great channel on YouTube if you guys want to check it out. He says, I really enjoyed this movie. I can't wait for the prequel. Did the old people sex bother any of you? My wife walked out of the theater for that part for a few minutes. I laughed my ass off. If I'm not mistaken, this is going to be a trilogy and I am here for it. So how bad did it bother you?
It didn't bother me. It was kind of more comical, I
Did you
think, more than
did you
anything.
get turned on a little bit?
Definitely to get turned on. It was like weird. It was like a feeling of like laughter, but also repulsion at the same time. It was
Yeah, agreed. And kind of sad.
yeah,
Yeah, sad.
that too. Yeah, his heart. We didn't know if his heart was going to take it, which
I thought he was gonna have a heart attack. That would have been hilarious because you're saying it the whole time, and it would
Yeah,
have been
right.
perfect for him to die there instead
Yeah.
of in the house.
dies like 10 minutes after they have sex, so it was probably part of the reason why he did die.
It should have been mid thrust, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't walk out obviously, but I did see this with my wife, and she was already like on the fence about watching this with me because she hates A24. And so we're watching the movie, and she's already not super digging it. And that scene comes on, she just turns to me and gives me a look like, I'll
Oh,
fucking
Lord.
kill you. Yeah. Like, what the fuck are you doing? So yeah.
Steve's fucking rock hard, and he's like, "Stop fucking looking at me."
Do you think this is like on brand with A24 though, or do you think this is like a different step
It
for
didn't
them?
feel like an A24. Like if you had not told me this was an
Yeah.
A24 film, I wouldn't have known,
Mhm.
which is good because that means they're branching out to kind
Mhm.
of other less super artsy genres.
It was weird, but not artsy weird.
Yeah,
You know,
it had artsy moments, like
Yeah.
but not as artsy as a lot of their other stuff. So
Right.
I dug it.
I liked it, man. It was different. Like some of the horror beats were like cliche. It's hard not to be, you know.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it's a bad movie, and it was cool. It went in different directions with the sex stuff and the porn stuff and
Mhm.
likable characters, which easily could have been, let's just make everyone terrible and we hate them all and root for the killers, which we kind of didn't.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Plus
No,
the
definitely.
alligator scene was awesome.
Yeah, that is interesting. Like you really didn't want to see any of these characters die. Really,
liked them
they were
all.
all very likable. Yeah, they were all very likable.
Like the Marine, he's gets up to help the old man. Hey man, I'll help her find her. He has no reason
Right.
to die. Mia Goth
Mhm.
didn't do anything. Blondie didn't do anything. She
Mm-hmm.
tried to help the old lady on the dock. She was every character in here was nice and didn't deserve their deaths, unlike most slasher movies.
Yeah, very true.
And it was great because when the film started, you kind of get like, all these are all going to be bad characters, you know. But
Yeah.
it showed that they're just people and
Making pornos.
they're making porno, and that's it. I love the first scene, like when they're at the gas station and he's like, oh, you should shoot it from below so it looks
Yeah.
like he's
Oh,
pumping
yeah, it
with
looks like his dick.
I thought that
He's
was
pumping
so
with
funny.
his head up. Oh.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I thought that was hilarious.
It would have been awesome if they showed the scenes they shot. Obviously not hardcore porn, but like how they did in Inglourious Bastards with the German propaganda
Oh
film.
yeah, right.
Mm.
That'd been a cool after credits thing where it's just
Yeah.
a little window of what they shot. That'd been funny.
Mhm.
Yeah. Actually, what do you guys think? So this movie is X-rated, which is like the
Is
big-
it really?
Yeah, at least that's
Why?
what it was advertised as and at my theater.
Huh.
And that's what I was
Really?
writing. Like one of my notes was that this didn't feel X-rated.
Because
Like
of
I
the
get that.
semen?
Maybe.
It's definitely rated R in the States. Anyway.
Heroes 18 plus. So
Okay.
The 18 is our.
It's not too
like,
often you see
adult
semen
movie.
on film. So
No.
maybe that's
No.
why.
It could have been, yeah. And there's a lot of sex scenes and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I guess the subject matter.
yeah, maybe. But I didn't feel it was that. Like when you tell me a movie's X-rated, I'm expecting like something a
It's
little
gonna be like
crazier. I guess.
full on penetration.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I think that's
Alright.
all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got too. Let me see. Let me check my notes real quick again.
Okay, I know this is stupid, but I wrote the main white guy there, the
boss guy?
the boss guy. I called him Budget Luke Wilson because I didn't know it was I don't know what his character name was. So
Yeah, I talked about all my notes. So
Yep.
cool. I think we're identical scores on Letterboxd.
yeah, we are.
All
Yeah.
three of us. All right, let's see if all of our ratings are the same. All right, so yeah, great movie. A24 does it again for me. They just can't go wrong, ladies and gentlemen. I know most of you are probably disagreeing with me, but yeah, the A24 train continues to roll. My only, I get, just a few little nitpicks. I do feel like there were some pacing issues here and there, but other than that, a great ride, great throwback to just classic grindhouse style type horror. I give it an 8.
Identical. 4 out of 5, 8 out of 10.
See, that's where I was when I originally watched it. But now that I really got to look at all the transitions and the editing and the score and everything, I bumped it up slightly to 8.5. I
Nice.
just appreciate it just a little
Yeah.
bit more than the last time, but still a 4.
I can
Oh,
definitely go higher, but I'm not going lower than an 8.
Right,
It's
right.
solid. Yeah.
Same.
Mine is currently tied with Fresh. I really like Fresh.
Mhm.
That's my
Yeah,
two-way tie.
this is definitely the best mainstream for me so far that's come out this year, and it's my number 2 right now.
What's number 1?
I keep forgetting the name of the movie for a movie that's my number 1, but it's
The Time We Need
the witch. It's the witch movie.
Oh, I gotta watch that one still.
I keep fucking forgetting the name of it though.
I think it's in my Letterboxd to watch list.
Yeah.
I really gotta remember it.
Which
It is
is
called
Stitches.
You Won't Be Alone.
Oh,
Yeah, it's on my list of stuff to.
hmm
that's your number 1. Okay.
That's my number 1 currently.
Oh, it's that chick in it.
Yeah, Naomi
Harris.
Rapace.
Oh, yeah.
I-
Who's Naomi Harris?
yeah.
It's that one. All right. Yeah, it's still on my list to watch. Maybe I'll just buy it.
I'd be
Yeah.
interested to hear everyone's thoughts on it. I feel like,
Yeah.
I mean, you might think I'm crazy. You might not. I don't really know. It's an interesting movie. I'll tell you. That's all. I mean, I'll give it that much. So definitely art house though. Definitely got the art. It's a lot more A24 than this movie. I will say that.
Isn't the Green Knight A24?
It is.
Yeah, well,
Have you watched that yet? I bought it and I haven't watched it yet.
I hate
Steve
it.
hated it.
I hate it.
I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, I'm really curious what you think, Todd.
I hate fucking Amazon right now because Prime Video, their rule, they changed some stupid rule with Google where you can't buy shit from the app anymore. It's super like unhelpful. I can't even
Have
see
you
the
watched
price.
The Northman? Have you watched The Northman?
No, not
Either of you?
yet.
No, not yet.
Northman was great.
Yeah, well, it's right now here. It's a $25 rental, so I'm waiting till it goes down to like
Oh,
5.
yeah.
You know?
I thought it was gonna be
Yeah.
put on a streaming service by now.
I think it is, isn't it? Over here? Let me look. I feel like it did go to a
Yeah,
streaming
here.
It won't be
A-
alone. It's $5.99 to rent.
nice.
It's
A24
it's 100%
aren't
worth it.
don't go on streaming services here like often at all. So, actually, speaking of A24 on a completely unrelated note, did they ever release the like full version of Midsommar?
Yes.
Yeah, the director's cut
Yeah.
they did. Yep.
Anyone
Mhm.
watch it?
I haven't. I've yet to watch it.
Yeah, that's one I'd
Me
really
too.
like to see at some point.
I heard it's not really worth it.
It's not
Like
worth,
I heard
like,
I heard it's got
Nothing
some like
special.
nothing special, yeah. According to this Todd, it says the Northman's on Peacock.
Is it really?
That's what
I
it
got
says.
Peacock still.
Yeah. So check
Oh, no,
that
I don't.
out.
I had Paramount. Never mind.
Hmm.
Stupid streaming services. All right. Well,
Very, very excited to hear your thoughts on that because I think I'm the only one that's watched it that I know of. So
X has a
want more
90,
opinions.
96 tomato meter, and You Won't Be Alone has 93.
yeah,
nice.
Cool.
there we go.
You Are Not My Mother. Didn't someone watch that?
Yeah, me and Steve, we
Yeah,
both liked it.
Yep.
I just liked it. Top 10.
You Are Not My Mother is currently number 7. So
So
yep.
might get bumped off then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I hope so.
possibly.
I really hope
You
so.
hope so.
Yeah, because if it doesn't get bumped off into 7 right now, that means it's a really shitty next 6 months.
It's solid though, for sure. It definitely worth a watch.
All right.
So next week, do you guys down to do a Revealer?
What's that on Shutter?
Sure.
It's on Shutter. It's coming out on Shutter the day this episode releases. The synopsis: tensions rise when a stripper and religious protester are trapped together in a peep show booth and must come together to survive the apocalypse. So
Sounds
I thought,
wild.
Cool.
yeah, I thought at the very least it'll be entertaining. So
Mhm.
why not, right? And it's available to a lot of people to watch. It's going to be on Shutter. So I figured let's do that, and probably Black Phone the week after, I would assume.
Mm,
Yeah,
You guys can check
I
it
think
out.
so.
And
Yeah,
maybe
check
our
it
80s episode after.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we're getting.
And then
we're getting
and then
close.
Nope. And then
Nope,
Nope's
yeah.
coming out too, not far after that. And
Yeah,
yeah.
we got
I was
some-
gonna say we should do the Cronenberg, but we'll put that on the back burner, I guess.
Yeah,
with everything
right.
Coming up. Yeah.
Exactly. All right, so Revealer over on Shutter as of Friday, so the day this releases.
Revealer. All right. Very good. Anyone else got anything before we wrap up?
No.
All right. Oh, one thing. We're planning our event for October. I don't have anything concrete yet, but I'm just going to say, save the date currently for October 22nd. That is subject to change, but that is the date right now we are looking at for that. So, yeah, and we might have a second event in October too. So we might have 2 events coming up in October, both right now slated for Salem, Massachusetts. So yeah, currently right now, October 22nd, save that date, and we might have another date in early October. I will let you guys know 100% sure, but to keep up with all of that, make sure you follow us on our social medias, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, the Horror Squad podcast. You will find us all on there. Also our Discord. That is probably the best place for any and all very current and up-to-date information. So definitely join our Discord and TeePublic if you would like to buy merch. That is definitely the best way to support our small little fun little podcast here. So if you want to show any sort of support, join our Discord and buy something from TeePublic. And once again, Revealer for next week, streaming over on Shudder. So we will see you for that next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.